Namaskaram to one and all. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming on time as well. We were discussing a lot of things previously. So today's class, I'm going to talk only in English. Last end of the session, we'll have question and answers where I can repeat and give answers in my own as well. So that pay attention completely. Okay, first 15-20 minutes, let's make it. So we were talking a lot of things. So today is just a summary, and after this day, I will not be getting back to these topics. We will go with new topics. Okay. So this is the topics which we already covered last week. So being Sunday is a holiday, probably we just need a refresher, right? So what and why we are doing this is one is we need to improve our communication. Okay. So to improve our communication, I made it very clear. We all need to get into a habit of whichever communication we want to improve. If it is English, we need to first have a dedication. Yes, I want to improve this particular language. Now, if you want to improve this language, number one is it has certain rules to follow, right? Every language has its own beauty. But the best thing and the very simple thing to do is think in that language when you are actually thinking about anything. So normally we have a tendency to think in Malayalam and convert that into English when we give a reply. That's when we have an accent. Okay. So this accent is nothing good or bad. We prefer to have proper fluency when we communicate. So that's why it's very important you always communicate to yourself in the same language, the language which you want to have it verbally. Got it? Next thing is listen to English news. Now again, when it comes to English, there are different types of the way we call it accents, the different types of communication. So what I have noticed is British channels have very straightforward communication. Okay? For example, if they have to say, they'll say, you just come here, do this is the report. It's very straightforward. But US style of communication is a little bit different. US is more handling with some politeness actually. So in US, if you want somebody to come here, you will not say come here. You will say, would you like to come here? Okay. There's a way of communicating. English, there's a language where you need to think about those words. Each word actually provides a complete meaning by itself. For example, if I see this person coming here, if I say Ndada, he will get angry. If I say Sigorno, he will, Tangal, Sigorno, there's a different meaning, right? So that Da and Tangal has completely changed the entire way of perceptions. Similarly, in English, each and every word changes the complete perception of another person. So I would recommend, more of for us to get into the culture of being more polite and polished in the language. US English would be much better, is what is my personal opinion, but there's not much difference. We all by nature are quite polite. No matter which type we learn, we are definitely polite. So we can always think and talk the way we want it. Okay. So the number one is listen to a lot of news in English. That is, you keep yourself updated. Number two is writing. There are three important skills everybody should understand. The three important skills is, one is you actually think the way you think is what you will do. So you practice thinking in English by yourself so that you can fluently talk. Right? Second thing is listening. Now you guys are all doing the same thing. You're listening. You're paying attention. So that's the second important thing. Third thing, which is very, very crucial, is writing. Writing is a very important skill. There are a lot of ways of writing, skilled writing. Going forward, there is, we need to learn shorthand writing and the cursive writing is taught in schools as well. But writing is one of the most important skills which we should not ignore. Okay. So we will quickly cover the topics which we were discussing. Now, why these topics? Why I took these topics is, number one, as we all understood that we have seen a lot of people working from the age group of 18 and 20. But when they reach 60, 70 now, we still see them not well financially settled, or we don't call them millionaires or leaders of life. So based on the research and study of the large organization of large people who actually reached the height of millionaires. We classified like out of 100%, if you take 100% of the population, people who actually started working from the age group of 18 and 20, if you look at those percentage, 60% of the people are dependent on somebody else when they reach the age group of 60 and 70. Only another left 40% is actually making some difference. Out of that 20%, we can say they are well settled, they have financial balance, so they are happy. But from there, other 20% are the ones who have reached the multi-billionaires leaders group, who actually make the rules and who actually do a lot of changes in life. So we want to be in that top 20% as we grow up in our career. So we understood what all we need to do. So we are actually taking few important points from the people who have achieved success. So I believe we all would be successful, and we are dedicated to be successful in life, to be in the top 20% in the category, right? So out of this, the very first point which we discussed is, you need to be a completely different person. What I meant by this is self-discipline. The very first rule is to be self-disciplined. The way how you get up, the way how you move around, the way you dress, the way you look at things, the way you communicate. The very most important thing is you respect the other person. If you respect somebody else, you are sure to get some respect back, right? Even today or tomorrow, whatever, always stick on to your own principles, which is self-discipline. Okay? The second point is practice idealization. Now, everybody would say, when we were small, when we were growing up, they'd say, come on, man, don't keep daydreaming. Right? Come on, do some work. It is not about daydreaming and do some work. The laborers in the street are the hardest working people. Right? They keep working every day, work, and work. Do they become successful, top millionaires in life? No. People who have a vision, people who actually have plan, people who actually visualize are the people who become leaders. So as a business owner or a business leader, visualization is the second most important character of a business leader, is to have a plan, to focus on the future. Got it? Now we're going to this third topic, do what you love to. It doesn't only go to you, it also goes to your children, so anybody who you care for. In any field, if you love that particular subject, you will not find it boring. You will spend hours and hours together work, on that. If you're finding yourself, not that interested and you're just, going there for the heck of saying, you're just wasting your time. Okay. Do what you love to do is very important. So what happens is, these top 20%, when they do what they love to do, they give their 100% in that particular field, and they get that result because they're doing it with so much of passion and they're happy with their do. And automatically it falls under the category of commitment to excellence. In any field, we have to be committed to excellence. If you're not committed to excellence, it just means that you're not doing what you love, loving to do that. If you love a particular project, if you like something, for example, I like to talk. So the more I practice, I'll be excellent in it. Somebody who loves real estate, they will go look a lot of real estate projects. There will be toppers on this. Somebody who likes share market, somebody who likes education. Whatever you love to do, if you visualize yourself to be in the top 10%, you will be focused on excellence. You have to commit yourself to excellence. Without this dedication, commitment to excellence, people will just live a very poor life. So from today, we have to make it a point that we commit to excellence. Got it? Next one is develop a unique talent and skills, ability. Now, once we are committed to excellence, we should be all dedicated to have our unique talents and abilities. When we walk into a particular place, everybody is known for their particular qualities. Okay. You will go to a hospital, you will say, okay, I want to be this doctor, because he's an expert on that subject and people have a good reputation on him. Why? This because of this. Develop your unique talent and ability. Your unique and talent ability would be your strength. If you are very good in what you do, you will have self-respect. Whenever you walk somewhere, you have self-confidence. Even if you go from one place to another place, you can live a life of dignity. Okay? The next comes is see yourself in charge of your own life goals. This is something very, very important. Okay? When I was very young, probably, I used to just think, as things fall by, I'll take it. I used to also think like this, the sky is above, the earth is, where I just walk. I'm not bothered about anything. If I get my money, I'm fine. But that is not the way we need to look at it and do it. With this point, you understand. See yourself in charge for your own life. Your own life is not just this day. It is the entire complete process of whatever we do. It says about the law of action. We also call it as karma. It is basically what you do is what you bring. Okay? So what we need to do is, when you take in charge of your life, that means you are actually setting yourself, okay, this is where I need to be. Next 5 years, next 10 years, I'm planning my career. Okay, from this I've done this, this is where I will be, this is where I will be. So in charge of your life. Then comes these things which I'm talking about, the unique skills. What you learn, what are the projects we need, how you reach your goal. Okay? I think it makes it very clear. Next point is, refuse to consider the possibility of failure. Refuse to consider the possibility of failure. So basically, whenever we set goals, normally if you see, the entrepreneur life is all about challenges. Suddenly, you want to do some business or you want to do something big. People are used to certain particular culture or certain way of thinking. Okay, if we have people who are very much doing a particular job, they will not immediately support to go think beyond that particular idea. So this is an idea which says refuse the considerability of failure. Never even think, okay, if I do this, I will fail, then everything will lose, everything will go. Yes, for an extent you need to do, analyze, but don't think too much yourself that you will not even do. There's a saying that hardly, if you see the percentage of people who actually do something is less than 1%. Okay. Now they're scared of failures. If you're scared of failures, you will not start anything. The fear is the one which actually stops people from doing something better and new. Right? So very clear it says is refuse to consider the possibility of failure. Okay? Done. Then comes the oneness. Dedicate yourself to lifelong learning. This is very important. I am repeating this very often. That's because it has to get into the system. If you just tell once, you might forget. So this has to be in the system. So what is this saying? Dedicate yourself into lifelong learning. You have to be 100% dedicated. That learning is not going to happen just for today or just for namesake. It is a lifelong process. And we should have certain things in our system. Like every day at least 30 to 60 minutes you spend on reading your skills. You spend reading on your particular subject. Writing. Every day 30 minutes we have to spend on writing. Okay? Done. Next one is develop a workaholic mentality. Now this is very important. Okay? Develop a workaholic mentality is crucial for success in any business. There are a lot of organizations, if you give them some work today, though it can be done today, they will put it for tomorrow. Tomorrow when you go and say, okay, I'll done tomorrow. Then they'll say, weekends, come afterwards. Most of the certain places have been known that service is not that great. Because we always, there is a tendency of saying, no, I will only do what I've been told to do. That is one thing. Another is I will only work from certain hours, 9 to 5. Whatever is there, I will do it. I will not extend myself. If you're in that, you actually fall under the 60% of the people who are not successful. If you want to be in the 20% of successful people, develop a workaholic mentality is you always think about your work. You always, if you're a student, you should have your books with you wherever you go. At least a textbook, at least your notebook where you make notes. You by heart things. As you travel in the bus, as you move around, there is something, you're making notes. Don't take your notebook and sit end of the academic syllabus and start mugging it. Like you're a parrot and you're just mugging it, and then during the exam you just take it off. Make a habit of writing every day. Make a notes. Carry your notebook wherever you go, and keep on revising it. You read it 3 times. You don't have to by heart anything. So develop this. Develop a workaholic mentality is for both. Whether you're working or you're a student, always be focused on whatever you do. Okay? Done. Next one is get around with the right people. When I say get around the right people means choose your friends very carefully. So, because we are all like, there's something called as chameleons. Basically, it can change color wherever it goes, right? So, same way, the way we interact with certain people, we human beings tend to imitate those characters. So, if you are in the right group, you will automatically be the way how the group belongs. Okay, so you choose your friends very carefully. I think we have already explained this in detail, and all it needs is dedication to your approach on the type of people you like. Okay, then comes be prepared to climb from peak to peak. When I say be prepared to climb from peak to peak, what does it mean? All it means is life is a continuous process of failure and success. Everybody has failed in life so many times. Everybody goes through difficulties. So whenever there's a difficulty, don't put yourself down. Be prepared. That is the reason why there are a lot of things in life. Okay, people who are very successful do not avoid risk, but they manage risk. There's a difference between avoiding and managing. That's the reason there are a lot of health insurances. People take insurances about their vehicle, the health, and all this stuff, because they know in a certain time they will face difficulty. Then they overcome these difficulties. Okay, so we've got to be prepared to climb from peak to peak. Another one is develop resilience and bounce back. This is a very important character, to develop resilience and bounce back. So when I say develop resilience, what I mean to say is, in life something can go wrong, something can be positive the way we want, right? So when you develop resilience, that is like you are actually very, very committed and being precise that you will succeed. Next one is become an unshakable optimist and never give up. Being an unshakable optimist. This means, just like the word it says, be very firm in whatever you are doing. Next is develop a quality of courage and persistence. Having a quality of courage and persistence is very, very crucial. Having the courage to start something new is also very important. Okay. Last is quality of self-discipline. Now, what is self-discipline? Many people have different opinions, but in general, doing what needs to be done, no matter if we're feeling lazy, we don't want to do that time. No, if something has to be done, and we know that's our duty, we just need to do that as self-discipline. Okay, so having the quality of persistence, having the quality of courage to do what is to be done, whether you like it or not, to be in the moment and do the justice. Okay. Now, when it comes to all these things, what I remember is one particular incident. Self-discipline is all more about the intent or the intent of the actions. Okay. So there is a lot to talk about, but I have just stick on to the topics right now. Okay. So when I say about intention, okay, I have one small incident. What happened is everybody knows about Valentine's Day, right? So Valentine's Day is a day where you celebrate, lovers actually celebrate. So there's one person, his name is, what is it? What is it? You understood? Okay. So there is one person called as, I'll get back on that. So I was talking about intention, right? So intention, will make it very simple. Intention is whatever you do, right? What is the intention of the other person is the most important. Not only the action. Action, the police also have their own way of handling things. The military also have their own way of handling things. Okay. For the border security, they have their own way of handling. The action is depending on the particular role they are playing, right? So, in very simple words, probably we will make this into a question and answer section where I will be able to answer this. But right now, we will just stick with these 15 points. Self-discipline is doing what you think is right to do and well-being for all. Okay? Okay, thanks.